As a small biz pro, that's how we roll. Using procurement, program, and control. As a small biz pro, that's how we grow. Using procurement, program, and control. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah. Crystal Mitchell, do you have my business plan?
Good afternoon, everyone. This is the Business Zone with
Crystal
and Gilbert Buchanan, your small business paramedic. And for those of you who are just tuning in today, this is the Business Zone. We are on air every Friday from 3 to 5. Our phone number here is 323-353.
No, 293.
3375. Let me give that to you again. That's 323-293-3375. I'm still asleep, Crystal.
Yeah, Gilbert giving you guys some other kind of number, man.
So, Crystal, what's been going on?
Good week. Let's see, what have we had? Is we had the last week of Black History Month.
Yes.
And so that,
which, of course, we're going to continue throughout the year.
We're going to continue right on throughout the year. What else happened? Black Panther movie. I went to that on Friday. Fantastic. Awesome. And it's been all kinds of interesting commentary online about it. You know, some people thinking that we as Black people, why are we all excited about a scientific movie? But the actual message that was delivered. So have you seen it yet?
No, I haven't seen it. I want to see it.
You need to go see it.
Some rave reviews about it.
It's phenomenal.
Yeah.
It's just phenomenal just to see. I mean, you're from a country where everybody's black, but for those of us that are not from a country that's all black, that makes a big difference for us.
Wow.
And just seeing us in the light that we were in was awesome.
Yeah.
Seeing us with power and control and in control of our own destiny, that was amazing. So when you go see it, I'm going to go back this weekend to see it
A
again.
lot of people said they've seen it twice.
Oh, some people see it 3 times.
Wow.
4 times, 5 times. So I saw it in 3D on last Saturday. Yeah. And now I'm going to see it in regular because, it's 3D. You got people coming at you like this.
Right.
So I want to be able to see the other part. But some great one-liners. I think I won't give any more of this thing of the movie. But there's one line is, "Don't scare me like that, colonizer." That's my favorite.
That.
One of my favorite lines.
I love that.
There's 10 incredible lines in there. So to top that off, last night we had our certification class.
Yes, that was very good.
Right, we had. I think we had 24 registered, but we actually. 17 came, and everybody. So and there could have been a couple others, and there were people registering up to the last moment.
You want to tell the audience a little bit about that program so they can still sign up?
Right. So the certification program or mastermind group is a program that Gilbert and I are working with, where we're going to help get you certified as a minority owned business, whether that's woman owned, vet owned, disadvantaged, or was it minority owned, black owned, woman owned, veteran,
or small business.
Yes. So and get you certified. We're going to make sure you have at least 2 certifications before you leave the class. It's a 5-week program.
5 week.
And so we're really excited about it. So this is our second one. And the first one was quite successful, a little small, but that was cool. It helped us work out some kinks.
That's right.
And it did take place right around Christmas. So the ones that hung in. And so yesterday was quite a few people that were excited about it.
That's good. And we're hoping to get all of them enrolled in the program so we can really get them to build their infrastructure and they can take their business to the next level, which would be business readiness, contract readiness, and bank loan readiness. That's what we're trying to do.
Exactly. So that was last night. And then I left there and I went over to the California African American Museum, CAM, and I saw the screening of the lost tapes of Malcolm X. And that was pretty awesome of hearing. And what's so incredible about it, they also had the it was a partnership with the Los Angeles Urban League, the Smithsonian, the new museum, and as well as an organization, Smithsonian Channel.
Yeah.
And so they were talking, and so you had a producer that was there that created the documentary, and then you had a young man that's a curator from the Museum of History and Culture, and so he was just talking about how similar what was going on in 1960 to what is going on right now. And so someone asked a question, and I put this on Facebook last night when I came in. Someone asked the question, does democracy in this country work for us?
When they say us, are they talking minorities?
No, I'm talking about black people.
No.
Right. No. And then another question I put up was, it's almost like black people and white America is in a toxic relationship.
And it's going to be continuous when you have leaders who are injecting venom into the conversation.
Right. So at this point, though, the question is it them or us? Because, there's a cliche that says the definition of insanity is continuing to do the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result.
Yes.
Well, if Martin Luther King was marching for racial equality, which is some of the problem, we were going to never get equality. So when you saw the differences between what Martin Luther King protests without, peaceful protests for inclusion, and Malcolm X was, no, take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Don't expect to be equal to them.
Right.
They do not have a relationship with you where they want you to be equal. So we've been going after this equality, let's be equal stuff and inclusion, and it's not working.
Right. So going back to your question, is it us or them? I'd say it's both of us.
Yeah.
Both them and us, because it's happening on that side, and on our side it's happening as well, because we allow certain things to help us to divide ourselves among each other. We allow certain things to make us not make good decisions. We allow certain things to make us not think about self-preservation and think about helping the group.
Right.
So instead, we start thinking about stepping on each other and stabbing each other in the back because those folks said that's okay to do it that way.
But they want us to do it that. Yeah. They want that.
Because you'll get ahead.
Well, yeah, that's all part of the script, right? That keep us divide and conquer, right? So they really haven't changed their methodology. It's the exact same thing.
It's not going to change.
It's never going to change. So that means we have to do one thing: pack up our bags and leave. Everybody, or find a middle ground where we're just like any other nationality that has become inclusive of our own. Take care of ourselves, recycle, keep our dollars in our community, buy property in our establish. And today I'm going to show a video from Dr. Claude Anderson. That's going to be our Black History moment. So establish a community like Koreatown, Little Tokyo, because they each have their own everything right there in their backyard.
Isn't that what Black Panther is all about?
Right, and that's what that's what we have to. So if we continue doing what we're doing, because when we gain the power, long as we're trying to be inclusive, then they come along and they murder Malcolm X. They murder John F. Kennedy. They murder Martin Luther King.
Marcus Garvey.
Marcus Garvey, because you're still trying to be included. We shouldn't be wanting to be included because they don't want you there. It's like being with a girl that says, or guy, they're like, I'm done.
Yeah, she's not into you.
She's not into you, but you keep coming back. Or
I'm here to take you on a date. No, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, I'm already busy.
Exactly.
And then if you keep going after her like that, she's like, then she gets rude. Right?
What do I need to do to get rid of this guy?
Right, exactly. Then you start talking bad to you, right?
Yeah.
And then her friends, and then it just gets nasty, and that's the definition of a toxic relationship.
Yeah.
So we really got to do some thinking about what we're doing, and I think hey, Candace. Candace is saying hello, business coaches.
Hey, how you doing, Candace?
And she says it's like a fatal attraction, and it really, really, truly is. So that, seeing the movie on Saturday, and then the comments that are coming out, somebody. It was another podcast that I was watching earlier today, and they were talking about Black Panther, and this young white guy was saying he didn't understand if we weren't satisfied with Catwoman and we weren't satisfied with some other handout that Roots, then why are we getting all bent out of shape and excited about Black Panther? Like, we can't have nothing.
Is he drunk?
No, he wasn't. He wasn't drunk. Right? He was real, and he can't understand. We had Martin Luther King. We had Malcolm X. We got freed 150 years ago. What the hell else you black people want? See, we gave you, and he even said this, we gave you your black president. You told he told your black children that they could one day be president. Now you got to have a movie to tell them that they can be a superhero. They're like, really? I mean, it's just.
I would say something, but I'm going to.
You're going to say on air. You're on air. So that's.
I'm on air.
So that was some of my takeaways. That's where I am today.
Well, see, what you just mentioned about us doing things for ourselves, that's what the Business Zone is all about.
It is.
We helping to provide self-sufficiency for small businesses and the businesses within our communities so that they understand what it is to run a business, to start a business, manage that business effectively and efficiently so they can go after big dollars.
Right.
And instead of sitting and hoping to do those transactional businesses that we're talking about, we don't want to do transactional business anymore. And just in case you don't know what transactional business is when you do business with one person at a time, hoping that person is going to come back tomorrow, next week, next month to purchase from you. There's no guarantee they're going to do that. If you do contractual business where you have a contract and that contract is good for at least a year, then now you know that money's guaranteed for a year. And you're going to work that contract to make sure that it's successful.
Exactly.
So once you do that for a year, even if they don't renew that contract, you've got at least a year's revenue out of that. And then you can look at other sources of revenue.
Exactly.
But we don't want us doing transactional. Now, I understand there's some storefronts that they have to do transactional business, but even with that, you want to try to get a contract.
Yeah, you want a nice balance so you have consistent income, revenue coming in. And one of the reasons is because we need to create that environment where we're creating manufacture, we're creating big businesses, so that we then have we can hire our own and take care of our own, because it's gonna require all that. There's a video that I'm going to show with Dr. Anderson, and it's about 5 minutes long. But once we can kind of talk about it, because he's telling us what we need to do. So he wrote a book a number of years ago called Powernomics. Powerful. It is actually our national plan to take us out of where we are, and with that. We could, it could take really literally 5 years to turn around our current situation. So, LaRon, if you'll show that.
Let's take a look at it.
The best way to control melanated people is keeping them poor and disenfranchised, and this is what has happened to black people in America. There's a reason why black people have been economically undermined, because it's very easy to control poor people. When people are poor, you can do whatever you want to them, and they won't have the economic power to fight back. They won't have the economic power to put a politician into power to help them out. They won't have the economic base to really take care of their basic needs, so then you can control them any way you want to.
See, white folk lend us money. They don't pay us, because they know that they're going to get it right back.
1866. And up to about into the 1920s, black folk had the greatest economic achievement they've ever had in this country. it didn't occur under integration, it occurred under segregation. Those black folk had managed to acquire over 20 million acres of land, according to the United States Census in 1920. 20 million acres of land. But between 1920s and 1950s, they lost almost all of it. Back in the 1920s and up to the 1940s, we had black broom factories, we had black mattress factories. Almost every black major city had at least 2 cab companies. We had black bus companies. We had black shipyard up here in Baltimore. When I say black bus lines, I'm not talking about just having 3 or 4 buses. We had over 500 buses. And this is in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. And our bus company didn't just service just the black neighborhoods. It serviced the blacks and the white neighborhoods. We had 2 black cab companies. We had the Harris Cab Companies and the Campbell City Cab Companies. But they used to have their own restaurants. They had the best nightclubs in the country. The blacks had 2 baseball leagues. Each baseball league had 8 teams. We had over 500 of the best baseball players in the world. But what did they do? They wanted to integrate. So as soon as they put Jackie Robinson on the Brooklyn Dodgers, black folks said, we'll give up all of our black baseball leagues, black teams, and all our black players, and we can just get 1 black boy to play on a white team.
Black Americans were gung-ho about integration because we thought that would be our passport to freedom. We equated integration with freedom.
That scared whites to death. And see, at that time you had whites, a lot of these white separate communities. You had white Polish communities, you had white Jewish communities, you had white Italian communities, you had white Irish communities. And white folks said, well, if these blacks are going to integrate, we're going to come together and organize as a unit. And so white folk then dropped all their little communities and said, no, we're going to organize as a one white block. We're not going to talk about I'm being Polish and you're Irish and German anymore. We ain't going to do that anymore. We're going to stick together as a group. We're not going to let all these blacks come and penetrate us.
Because we were doing things and becoming self-sufficient, that became a threat. So instead of them just coming out and attacking, because they couldn't just come out with an all-out attack, we were a little bit too strong for that, and we would have fought back, and there would have been a civil unrest that would have definitely undermined the security of the country. Instead, they said, well, let's invite them into a place that they've always coveted, and that is into the white estuaries of power, into the white citadels of power. Let us make sure we bring them in and incorporate them to us, and therefore, being that they're going to have to buy their facilities and all their materials from us, they're going to have to interface with us anyway, they're going to dress like us, act like us, and we will take the best of what they have and capitalize eventually and take it over. We will have quelled or stopped any threat or competition to our business, and that's exactly what they did.
So black folks stripped themselves of all their resources. They stripped themselves of their unity. They stripped themselves of the role model when all blacks used to live together. Then they had their own role models. All the doctors and lawyers and teachers with the black lived all together. You had a sense of community. You knew each other. You trusted each other. You worked with each other. You participated with each other. You learned how to buy from each other, to sell each other, to support each other, to care about each other, to love each other. Where black folk up into integration, blacks never locked their homes.
We practice a very profound humanity. If an Asian opens a store in our community, we do not boycott and discriminate against them. If an Arab opens a store in our community, we do not boycott and discriminate against them. If a Jewish person opens a store in our community, we do not boycott and discriminate against them. We shop with all peoples. We treat all peoples equally. The problem is they're not treating us equally. See, we caught in our own humanity. And until we begin to address that and demand that others practice towards us the same human concern and love that we practice towards them, we will stay in this situation.
Powerful, huh?
Very, very powerful. And see, the thing about this is we know all of this. Mm-hmm. We know this. Somehow, some way, we keep forgetting.
Well, I think that the carrot and the little sparkles of gold keeps get dangled at us because, so here's what I found last night. Now, I grew up with, I remember when John F. Kennedy got shot, I was 7, and I remember my mom just falling apart, and then, of course, 1965 when Martin Luther King, I thought she was just going to come unglued. And I remember that. But what I found out last night was during the lost tapes that because white America said, do we fight? Malcolm X is, I mean, that man is straightforward. He speaks his mind. He knew at some point the consequences were death for him, but he knew what he believed in, and he believed in a powerful black, segregated black people, just like they talked about. Martin Luther King was more peaceful. So white America says, who do we go with? Who do we go with? The peaceful one? That we literally been beating him down in the streets and he won't fight back. Right. Or do we go over here with this Malcolm X who is loud and abrasive and says whatever he wants? So they embraced Martin Luther King. Right. And when they did that, they told Martin Luther King, yeah, march. We will march with you. But here's the signs you need to show. Here's the chants you need to chant. Right. Yeah. So we're going to use you to control them. With Malcolm, he's talking revolution. And possibly they could win that revolution.
By any means necessary.
By any means necessary. So they brought that together and they handled us the sparkly dust and said, oh yeah, they're including, we'll walk with you. We all know that there are a number of white people that, and they talk about that. They talk in pride about walking in the marches together. Well, the government had a lot to do with that.
Oh, yeah.
It had a lot to do with that. So
they did everything they could. And I don't know how we're going to get this message, but we just got to keep doing what we do, keep saying what we say, and somehow, some way, someone may listen.
Well, as bad as this political situation is and our country is right now with the man that's in the office, I think there is no illusion. I mean, because if you're in the South, there is no illusion that white folks don't like you. Right. But living in the West, you get a little bamboozled because you're thinking, because they invite you over to their house, or you go to more camouflage and you become more complacent, and then you start fighting for them. I don't know if you've noticed, but on television, so there's a subliminal thing going on right now. So if you look on television, every commercial is either a black guy with a white woman, or a black woman with a white guy, and all the children are integrated. That's been the commercials that have been running for the last 6 months. There's a subliminal message that's downplaying us, and they've said it, for black women to find a man, you need to consider going outside of your race. They're blatant about it, or you'll never get a man. So, and some of us are actually,
you want a real man, you come over here.
You go over there to one of us or somebody else outside your race because your men aren't worth it. So there's subliminal messages going on. But the great thing is that hopefully with what's going on on the federal level and the White House level or at Pennsylvania Avenue, that we definitely are waking up. That movie just rocked us. I think that just a sense of pride, and when you come out, you'll see it. I mean, I wanted to come home and throw out all my clothes and buy all African attire. Yeah. and I'm going to start buying them systematically, and every day that's what I'm going to be wearing. Because a sense of pride. Just like the Koreans or the Indians. Yeah. The East Indians did not change their style of dress. They wear their saris, and they're okay with that.
I hear that.
So those are some of the things, with Black history, and I guess that's it. If we have to continue on because we have to create a sense of pride, and being able to have your own business is one of the things that has to happen. Our guest today, Miss Beverly Clark, she has an investment club, home ownership, business, owning the business, the building that your business is in, knowing that you can, because when you pay property tax, you got a voice.
Which keeps going up every year.
Right, exactly.
That means the bigger your voice should be, right?
The bigger your voice should be. So you have comments and can say things. But if you are a renter, you have no power. You have no voice. They come along and say, we want to throw you out in the street tomorrow. Yeah. They can.
That's like you're squatting.
Right. So we have to, so what we're doing and what the Business Zone is helping empower people and to give them the skills to run successful businesses. We can no longer do mom and pop businesses where they're not business ready, contract ready, or bank loan ready, so that they can take their businesses up to that next level. They shouldn't be stuck in mom and pop for 30 years or 40 years until the day they have to shut the doors. They don't even leave legacies because they ain't nothing to leave. What you leaving? Debt.
Which is a great point, which I want to speak to. I want to speak to America and the world right now. So I want to ask you this question. As an entrepreneur and a business owner, are you business ready? Are you contract ready? Are you bank loan ready? And you might be asking this question right now. You might be saying, what is he talking about? What does he mean business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready? Well, business ready means that when you enter into business, there are certain things that you need to do, certain documents you need to have. Do you have your business license? Is your business registered? Do you have a DBA? Do you have insurance? And if you're a corporation, do you have your corporate documents? Do you have your bylaws? Do you have your articles of incorporation? Do you have your meeting minutes? If you're an LLC, do you have your articles of organization? If you're a partnership, do you have a partnership agreement? These are some of the basic things you need to have in order to say, yes, your business is ready. So my question to you, small businesses, is, are you ready? I want you to give us a call here and tell us if you're ready. Tell us how you know if you're ready. Again, our number here is 323-293-3375. That's 323-293-3375.
Right.
Crystal, we got to do it. We're the only ones that's doing this. And I'm yet to see another consultant out there that's doing what we're doing for small business. I mean, they talk a good game, but I don't see them rolling up their sleeves and helping these small businesses.
Well, I think they help where they do workshops and seminars. All our organizations are community-based organizations. That's what we do. But actually taking it to task and understanding. Because some people are, because you and I understand it, or someone else that really maybe grew up with someone that was a peer that they could see what it took to run a business, like Felicia and her dad. She saw him in his. So there are a lot of us that are not like that. And there are a lot of us that are just, the struggle has been so difficult that, they fell into default for their business, first of all, because whoever was hiring them laid them off and they never could find another job. So they opened up a mom and pop whatever.
They have to create something.
And they never have the skill set to really do that. So and I've said this many, many times, so when the people that we're trying to address, the ones that have existing businesses, they're not going to leave their businesses in the middle of the day. And then after they've been in business all day long, they're not going to come to a workshop. You have to go to them to reach them on their level.
And we're willing to do that.
And once that happens, and one of the reasons the scheduling for the 4 to 6 is important is because I've been doing workshops in our community for the last 10 years. And I used to I had a 12-week business plan class going on. I had QuickBooks classes for 3 months of the year. I did all of that. And mainly, I got people who had never had a business to come. Never the ones that were in business.
Right.
When we set it at 4, because as a business person, we're not doing things after hours unless we're going to network, right? If you're in corporate America, they don't give you a workshop to go to at 6, right? You go either all day or there's one scheduled late afternoon. So you can carry on your business in the morning and then go and get your personal, professional development. So we got to get people to understand that. And if you can't come after your job at 6, then you're really not that demographic that we need.
Well, that's part of the reason why I would love for small businesses to give us a call here. Tell us your story. Tell us what you think. Tell us your challenges so we can work with you, because our goal is to really help you to become those 3 things. business ready, contract ready, bank loan ready. So you can elevate your status. You can go out there and do the types of things, the types of services that you want to provide. Now, remember, you're solving a pain in the marketplace. And I know we got to go to break real quickly. You're solving a pain in the marketplace. You're good at your craft. You're good at your craft. Running a business, managing a business is probably not your strong suit. That's why we're here. That's what we do. We'll handle that part for you. You just go out there and do what you do very well. So with that being said, Crystal, we're going to go ahead and take a break right now. You're on the Business Zone with
Crystal
and Gilbert Buchanan, your small business paramedic. Take a break.
Hello, meet Larry. Larry is a general contractor. Larry is very good at his craft, but Larry has a very tough time managing his paperwork because he is busy taking care of his clients' needs. Larry just cannot find his important business documents when needed. Larry is also being passed over for bid opportunities from prime contractors because he is perceived as not ready. He doesn't know where his business license, certifications, insurance, and other key corporate documents are located most of the time. Lucy owns an auto body and collision repair shop and has been using a business management and procurement assistance program called Small Biz Pro to keep her business organized, business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. Small Biz Pro is a 3-in-1 cloud-based business management, procurement, and market research assistance system designed to help businesses become business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. It also provides back-office operation solutions for small businesses. Lucy is able to stay ahead of her competitors because she uses Small Biz Pro to manage her business daily. Lucy just clicks on Small Biz Pro from her tablet, mobile phone, laptop, or any internet-accessible device for data retrieval, and she's got it. Lucy introduces Larry to Small Biz Pro, and now Larry is more organized and can now find all of his documents and new bid opportunities in seconds. Larry now saves $120 in labor costs for each missing or misplaced document. Just simply go to your web browser and log into smallbizpro.net and register today for a limited 30-day free trial offer. Services start as low as $1 per day. Let's put the competition out of business. Small Biz Pro. If you stay ready, you don't need to get ready. Register now at smallbizpro.net and begin saving money. Email info@smallbizpro.net or call 626-533-1186.
Each year, the state of California contracts for billions of dollars of goods and services. We as a state can and should leverage our spending power to achieve policy goals that help the people of California. One major policy goal we have is to create jobs and grow our state economy. Promoting the development of small businesses within California is a great way for us to do that, because California small businesses are the engine of economic growth. 95% of companies in California are small businesses, and with the right opportunities, these small businesses can grow to become the next Apple, Netflix, or Tesla. So let's all do our part to promote small business development and grow our state economy. Together, we can really make.
Hello, meet Larry. Larry is a general contractor. Larry is very good at his craft, but Larry has a very tough time managing his paperwork because he is busy taking care of his clients' needs. Larry just cannot find his important business documents when needed. Larry is also being passed over for bid opportunities from prime contractors because he is perceived as not ready. He doesn't know where his business license, certifications, insurance, and other key corporate documents are located most of the time. Lucy owns an auto body and collision repair shop and has been using a business management and procurement assistance program called Small Biz Pro to keep her business organized, business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. Small Biz Pro is a 3-in-1 cloud-based business management, procurement, and market research assistance system designed to help businesses become business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. It also provides back-office operation solutions for small businesses. Lucy is able to stay ahead of her competitors because she uses Small Biz Pro to manage her business daily. Lucy just clicks on Small Biz Pro from her tablet.
So we're back on the Business Zone with
Crystal
and Gilbert Buchanan, your small business paramedic. And for those of you who are watching, I really, really would love for you to participate. We can't wait to hear from you. We want to hear a little bit about your business, hear a little bit about some of the challenges you're having and how you're going about managing those challenges. Our phone number here is 323-293-3375. That's 323-293-3375. Crystal, who do we have in the studio
we
today?
have Miss Beverly Clark, and she is the proprietor of Clark Realty, which is right here in the Windsor Hills View Park area.
Wow.
But legendary real estate. This is generations of real estate.
She has that look of legend on her
right,
face.
yeah, she's legend, and she was just giving me some little background that her parents, they still have the land in their family when they got their 40 acres in the mule.
Really? Oh, man.
They got their 40 acres in the mule.
That is amazing. That is amazing.
And so she's been in the real estate business of over 15.
Oh, God. I'm the third generation real estate owned.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
My grandfather came to Los Angeles in 1906.
Oh, wow.
And 1908, he bought 1767 East 42nd Street. In 1912, he bought a lot at 1436 West 35th Place and built 3 homes on it, and they're still there, and I own them.
Amazing.
That's awesome.
We can learn a lot from her.
Oh, that we can. You know, there's a number of people that have been in this city. Mr. Garr, I mean, and he just passed in December. But those are legacies. Those are the Doolins, the legacies that the generations of family member. And so this is what our family doesn't have, right? Yes. Because she saw it from her grandfather, and they were able to pass down
my grandmother, my mother, and now me.
So 3 generations, 4 generations.
Yes, my son is the manager of our business.
Wow.
There in Overhill and Slauson.
Well, welcome to the Business Zone, Ms. Clark.
Yes.
I can't wait to learn more from you.
Oh, my goodness. It's a lot to learn.
Well, I'll take it one bite at a time.
Okay.
So they're right across from Simply Wholesome.
Yes.
On that side, right behind the CVS.
Yes,
when you come around to go to Little Kingston.
Yes.
So that's where they are. Now, you've been in
there
that location?
44 years.
44 years.
Yes.
Wow.
It's a long time. Actually, we bought the property from Marlowe and Burns. They were the original developers of Windsor Hills and View Park.
Wow. Yeah. Have you thought of buying property and leasing or selling it to small businesses so they can develop their network?
Yes, but it's difficult to get us involved in real estate.
Yeah.
I've been
Tell me a little bit about that.
Oh, gosh. I've been begging our people to buy. And there's so many different programs to help them with the down payment, closing costs, and they still won't do it.
Do you think maybe it's because they don't know about those programs? They're not really educated on those
Some,
things?
But most that even know, they are afraid. And I tell them the property is not going to bite you. It's not going to hurt you.
What are they afraid of?
They're afraid they might lose it.
Oh.
And I said, if you pay your rent on time, you would pay your mortgage on time, and you would not lose it.
Yeah.
And as you go and need to know different things, you would take time out and learn.
Wow.
Because that's what I did.
Because Crystal and I are trainers and you speak in the way you are right now, in my mind, immediately, I went into training mode. So I'm thinking that's something that you probably could teach them in a workshop.
I have had workshops for the past 5-6 years, and I started out rent to own.
Wow.
I think out of all the people that have signed up, probably maybe 15 have completed the actual course.
Wow.
Out of the 15, I have placed 4 or either 5. 1, 2, 3, 4 people.
4.
Wow.
That would actually go through it. 4 or 5. Actually, 5, because I have one lady that's still renting. She will not still complete and get a loan.
Does it make you feel discouraged?
No, because I understand what we are going through. See, and I explain this to my children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren. I'm like 4 generations from slavery. So we have certain things that are already set in our minds that keeps us from moving forward.
Right.
We feel insecure. We don't feel that we are worthy. We don't feel that we can actually do it.
It's a Willie Lynch concept.
Yes. No one has told us, yes, you can do it.
Yeah.
So for me, I've always gone into all the classes and all the places that I'm not supposed to be. I'm always the only one in the crowd.
Oh, yes. I'm one of those.
Yes, but I am there. And
Crystal is one of those, too. That's probably why we get along.
Yes. I have been from San Diego to Sacramento to learn and find out, how do I move forward? What do I do next? And then so many of us have been discouraged through the religious concept of religion is, it's that we don't do that anymore.
Yes.
We're but if they read their Bible, the Bible is the best instructions on real estate because that is the first thing God told us to do. To take dominion and subdue the land.
But I don't know if they. And what about some of the things? And I grew up in the church, and it's definitely changed from then to now.
Yes.
But depending on where you go to church and who's your pastor, I've been blessed with amazing pastors. I was with First AME Church for 27 years, and Reverend Murray was like
excellent. I have been there on many occasions.
Right, so you it's hard to even go somewhere else after when I left there, and then another pastor that was at Brookings, and he Freddie Murphy. He was also don't just read. Don't hear me read the Bible. You go read the Bible so you know what is in it, and you can question me, and I'm okay with you questioning me on it, so you can learn more from it. But I think in some cases, if you just feed people what they want, what you want them to hear, and
that's all they
get. Mentally,
that's all they get.
It's like what Greg was talking about last week. It's the psychology, and we've been suppressed so long. You and I are different. One, because you left your country and went to another country, and nobody else is here but you, right? That's so right. You had to. Yes. I grew up on the East Coast, right on the Canadian border. It was a melting pot from the time I took the first breath. That's so there was no. The communities I lived in were mixed. So there was no, they can do this and I can do this. And my parents came from the South also, from a very segregated, racist environment. My mom left the South, probably like yours, because she said she would probably have died there.
Well, they were going to actually lynch my grandfather, and they snuck him out.
Wow.
And then my grandmother came after him, and they left everything just the way it was.
Wow.
Because you couldn't take anything with you, then it would let them know you were leaving. So they left the chickens in the yard and the clothes on the line.
So it looked like they were still there, so they could really. And what is there's a line that Harriet Tubman said, I could have freed more slaves if they had known they were slaves.
That's true.
That's right? If they had just known they were slaves, but they were given. I can't do that. Brainwashed and frightened.
Wow. And they were actually brainwashed. Mr. Smith went throughout the plantations and let them know they were free people, and they were actually helping the slave master maintain and keep the property so they would have a safe place to live. So they've been brainwashed. That's why so many of them didn't want to leave the plantation because they thought this was their only safety net.
This was their home.
And they really believe this is where I'm supposed to be.
Wow.
So, and it's our children. They believe exactly what we teach them. If you want them to learn more, then you have to expose them to more.
Wow.
So, but if you keep them within a certain neighborhood and a certain block, that's all they're going to do because they're going to be afraid to leave out from that area. So, whereas my children, they're not afraid to travel, and they've been some of everywhere now.
So that's kind of what you've been experiencing in the community.
Yes.
Some of the same things. You're trying to help folks purchase their own homes.
Yes.
But they're not seeing it that way because they're comfortable in the discomfort
That's right.
of what the brainwashed philosophy
That's
has
right.
taught them.
They are truly brainwashed.
Wow.
Wealth is real estate. Real estate will always be wealth because everything on this planet comes from real estate.
Yes.
If you dig in the ground, you'll get gold. If you dig, you're going to get silver. You're going to get mercury.
Water,
Every
everything.
mineral, everything you need is in the land. And we're busy walking around talking about, I don't need this and I don't need that and I'm like this and I'm like that. It's amazing how we get into our feelings and our feelings are hurt, so I'm not going to do this and I'm not going to do that. I always tell people, I understand to close my deals because I need to get paid. My lifestyle is different than your lifestyle.
That's right.
I know how to buy airline ticket and get out of here.
That's what I'm talking about.
I've been to Egypt and 9 countries in Africa.
Wow.
And I love Africa.
I've never been to one.
Oh, my goodness.
No?
Never been to one.
Our people are so
Really?
stuck.
Just from here? You left from Jamaica to here?
Yeah, never
Oh, my
been
goodness.
to one.
I've been to Jamaica.
Well, actually, I've been to Panama, but I've never been to Africa.
I've been to
I've been to Africa,
Jamaica.
yeah.
I love Jamaica. It was a
Really?
lot of fun. I enjoyed Jamaica. I had a good time.
It's a little bit of Africa, huh?
Oh, gosh. I think it's a little better than Africa because Africa is conservative, especially for women.
Right.
But in Jamaica, oh, gosh, let your hair down. Let your hair down.
I think a lot of those island places, you let your hair down.
I went to the cave.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
So you know what I'm saying.
Oh, yes.
I went to the cave.
Yes.
I went to the falls. I made
love the
Kingston.
falls, yeah.
Oh, yes. I did it all.
That's amazing.
We really had a very good time.
So you've
there.
had a good life.
Oh, yeah. I've been to Barbados twice.
Wow.
Gosh, because it's a beautiful island.
Wow.
Gosh. I've been to the Caribbeans, to the West Indies, the little islands there outside of Florida. And
You know what's amazing? Not too many people know those little islands exist.
oh, my gosh, they're beautiful.
Just recently, when we had that hurricane
Yes.
with Puerto
Yes.
Rico,
Yes.
and they're talking about some of those little islands right
Yes.
there. That's when some people learned for the first time that there's some
Yes.
little islands there.
Well, that's like was it Bahia? No one knew what that was,
Yeah.
and like, oh, it's been there forever, but
Yeah,
nobody.
Barbuda,
Barbados,
Yes.
Barbados, and all that.
Those are the first things we learn in school.
Yeah.
You got to learn the Lesser Antilles and the Greater Antilles.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, the East Indies and the West Indies.
Yes.
You got to learn all of those things.
Oh, gosh,
No,
there's
we
a
don't.
lot of little
In fact, you only know, and unless you cruise, then at that point
Yeah.
you get to
Yes.
learn more of the little
Exactly.
islands because you're traveling around
Yes.
and you get that
Yes.
history.
Unbelievable.
But I tell everybody, if you want to know the truth, go to Egypt. Once you go to Egypt, then you know the truth. And you know who the real Israelites are.
Wow.
And the guides there are so knowledgeable. My gosh, it is just amazing. And I sent my daughter year before last, she and my son went to Egypt. So I gave them that trip. Last year, she went with me to Alaska. That was my last state for the U.S. I've been to every state in the U.S.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
I love to travel. I love to.
I probably went to maybe 5 or 6 states.
I think I counted it at one time. I think I've been to states. I think I've been to 21 of the states.
That's good.
And I've
That's
been
very
to
good.
country Canada. I've been to
Canada.
the 4 or 5 of the Caribbean islands.
So you've spent time in those states. You
Yeah.
didn't just drive through.
No, I spent time in
No,
those
we
states.
did. We stayed over.
Time for me to travel again.
Yes.
Yeah, no, and when we came to California, again, because I'm from the East Coast, right?
Yeah.
So we came here from New York and
Yeah.
went all over to New York, and so with there, it's easier to get around.
Yeah. It
Philadelphia, Chicago,
Yes.
all of because you just jump in the car and drive. Canada, we were like Santa Monica to Los Angeles, so to Toronto and Montreal, and then on this side I've been to Vancouver and Montreal, and I ski.
Yeah.
So you get
wow.
across the
Yes.
countryside,
Oh, my
right?
God, you do.
Yeah, so you get, and then I've gone to others. So I think there was a post years ago on Facebook was how many places have you been? And I think I counted about 35 places. With this.
Yes.
Yeah, I love
I
traveling.
am wasting time.
He worked too much, man. You
I
gotta
work
take
too
out
much.
time.
I've been to Dubai.
Oh.
And I've been to Saudi Arabia.
Oh, wow. I hear
Saudi
those are amazing.
is, yes, it's very upscale.
Wow.
It's amazing how they tell you, oh, the people, they're terrorists and they're this and they're that. They're not even thinking about America. They so stinking rich. It's amazing.
Yeah, they don't
Their
care.
cheesecake factory there will put our cheesecake factory here to shame.
Really?
It's so elegant. Their seating is for 22, 24 people.
Wow.
And
Because they're
I don't
family
think
oriented, huh?
Oh my gosh, they're so family oriented. Everybody goes shopping and everybody eats out. So and shopping there, their malls are like 4 times bigger than our malls.
Wow.
Because they have 8 stories to a mall.
Wow.
5 is a small mall. 4 levels is really small.
Wow.
And you will never get. I haven't gone through not one mall in Dubai or Saudi, and I go back and I tell my sister, I say, it's just too much to walk, too much to do. You need one of those little
things to ride and
golf carts to get around. And but it's so much to see and do, and I feel sorry for people that are caught up and don't want to learn someone else's culture. And why? You know, why? I love it because when I went into Saudi, that's all they want to do is sit down and let's eat and talk.
Right.
They want to know all about you. What do you think? How do you feel? What's going on in your life?
Right.
And how do you survive, you know? And what is America like? And I explain to them and everything. And versus where they are.
Wow.
But only thing I could tell you, Saudi is very, very hot, and you do have to cover.
So it's like Vegas.
Yes, and
you have to cover.
Yes, you do have to wear a hijab and an abaya, and I'm okay with that.
Wow.
Because I converted to go there.
Oh, okay.
Because I said if I'm traveling that
Yeah,
far,
yeah.
I want to go to Mecca and I want to go to
You
Medina.
want to check out everything.
And once I went to Mecca and Medina, then I knew the truth.
Wow.
So now you can say anything you want to me. So many people, oh, I won't touch the Bible. And why would you have that Quran in your house? And I said, you know, when you're reading the Quran, you need the Bible because sometimes there's certain things in there you have to cross-reference.
Right.
It's amazing. They know more about the Bible than we know about the Bible. And we're just up telling people, oh, no, don't do that. You know, don't do what? Don't do what?
See, it's some of that ignorance that's still permeating in the community. So, in terms of real estate, what could you teach us as entrepreneurs, as business owners, that we can take away from here today that will help us?
Right now, today, the majority of the people do not have good credit. That is going to be the first thing they need.
Right.
Another thing, they're going to need good credit even to get an apartment. With the, what is that, the rental, the way they have the rentals, these new buildings they're setting up, the high-rise and everything, they have to have a certain FICO score in order to rent. So they're going to be finding themselves not able to move in.
Right.
Well, that's some of the problem we have with the homelessness, right?
Yeah, that's what.
Because you
that's
can't
the
you can't
maturity.
afford. Forget
Yes.
the not being able to get in. You can't get in because of your FICO score. So that's
Yeah.
why we have 55,000 people sitting live in the streets.
Well, there are the working poor because they work in hotels and restaurants, and they're not getting paid minimum wage.
Right.
They get less than
Less than
minimum
minimum,
wage
right.
because they receive 2 meals a day and they get tips. So the tips are supposed to be a part of their wages,
Right.
which is not right. But you know, I don't set up the laws for the
right.
for the working people, but I'm sure they'll get around to it eventually.
Right.
Because if they don't, the homeless is going to take America down with a new plague
Right.
that they won't be able to handle.
Right.
I am on Wilshire and up in nice neighborhoods and districts, and the filth is going to kill us.
Well, it's already on its way because
Yes.
I traveled to different cities, different states, and you would think that it's only isolated to certain states or certain cities.
No, it's all across
It's
the country.
I go to Sacramento, San
Yes.
Francisco.
Yes.
I'm here, Orange County, all over Arizona, and it's there. And I'm going,
Yes.
wow,
Yes.
homelessness.
Yes.
Everywhere.
These people, it's like last week, you may have gone to a certain spot in the city. You didn't see any homeless. This week you go, there's like 20 people there.
Yes.
And you go, What's going on?
Yes.
Because those people
they can't afford the rent.
They can't afford the rent.
The 1-bedroom is up to $1,200, $1,400, $1,500 a month.
Wow.
2-bedroom is at least $1,600, $1,800 to $1,900 a month, depending on the location.
Wow.
3-bedroom can go up to $2,600.
How do you think we can resolve that?
Wages
in the real estate business.
Okay. Resolving it, we have a new nonprofit.
Okay.
It's called New Covenant of Hope. And we were asking people to lend, not give, $300 to New Covenant of Hope. We need 2,000 people to lend $300, and we have a bank that will do matching funds. That will give us $1 million. Do you know we can build tiny houses?
Yeah.
50 tiny homes in 1 month, and we can place them on a lot, and that would give them a place to live so that they can bathe and they have a place to brush their teeth, take a shower, and go to the bathroom. The major thing that's going on downtown right now in Skid Row is a live sewage. And it's everywhere. I mean, you have to watch where you walk.
Yes, I hear they were complaining in San Fernando Valley. That was,
well, actually, the guy that is the director and CEO of Union Rescue Mission, he actually picked up, because first of all, there's living the working poor that's there. That's not anyone with drug problems or any of that. These are full families, and they got 7 floors, and every floor, including the halls, every closet, have families in it. And usually men with their children. So he is one that actually would come down and go talk to the people. He picked up a flesh-eating bacteria disease. And they had to remove his leg. They thought he was dying. He was almost at death's door. So he's now got a prosthesis. But that happened about 4 years ago, I think. When right after the recession, I think, when so many people were living in the street. But she's right. And I think earlier this week, the police were down there because they were saying the gangs have supposedly the gangs, that's what they say, infiltrated, and they can't find out who it is with the drugs and all that kind of stuff because they're intense. So it's not like you can see them. And then, that this week in Santa Ana, there were all these people living on the canal, on the, what do you call it? The river. The river. And so they moved them, and they can never come back. And so they gave, and this is the silliness, they gave them a voucher to stay at a hotel, but they only got 30 days there. Like they got a house to go to or somewhere to go. It's like, okay, so you just then moved them out of here. And then when they get out of that 30-day, where they can take a bath or whatever, there's no jobs for them because there's nobody hiring them.
That's right.
So where are they going to make money? So in 30 days, they're ready to go into somebody's apartment that you can't afford and you don't have a credit score.
So your program helps by
the tiny homes,
accumulating $1 million to build the tiny homes. That's like 1 bedroom.
They are like a motorhome.
Oh.
It would be a bed, a room with a bed in it.
Yeah.
So you walk in, there's a closet, and then you get in the bed.
Can they shower? Is there a bathroom there?
And there's a bathroom. That's what I like. It has a bath and a shower and a face bowl and a toilet, and it flushes.
That's all they need.
So are these manufactured? Or they're already manufactured?
Yes, they're already built.
Okay.
There's 3 different companies that I have talked with in regards to building them out, and we can sign anytime we could get the 2,000 people to come in and give the $300.
Maybe we can launch a campaign then.
That's what we need to do, is a major campaign.
Yes.
Because their money is put into charitable trust, so that means it draws interest and they can get money back.
Wow.
Yeah, I think we can help along with that.
If we help a veteran and then he ends up buying the house, then that would give more money to the trust.
Wow.
So now the trust would have money that they can split and divide back to the people that came in with it.
That's great. Now, where's the land coming from?
Now, the land, that's what we're looking for presently. Actually, I had called 3 people, and the man just called me back, and I had to come here.
Yeah.
So I haven't gotten back with him yet.
You know there's a lot of land in San Fernando Shenandoah Valley area,
Yes,
right?
yes.
So those would be good for you to tap into.
Well, we were hoping to get into like Commerce, City of Industry, where it's close to downtown.
Okay.
Because those people that are working in the hotels, the restaurants and all, they can get bus transportation and get to and from the job on a bus pass.
I think you should explore this some more. So is that your mission statement right there?
Yes, we've been working on it for a good little while, and I didn't even bring my glasses.
Okay, so I'll read. I got mine on. So we are the New Covenant of Hope. Is a nonprofit organization comprised of volunteers that began its services for the Los Angeles County communities in the year 2012 out of concern for the homeless epidemic plaguing Los Angeles County. With the yearly increase of the homeless population, NCOH decided to create a program that would allow a fresh start to those who desperately in need of housing and economic changes. In addition, the need for training/education on how to economically improve lifestyles for the homeless, veterans, single women with children, newly released inmates, emancipated youth, and those with mental disabilities has displayed an enormous concern in the communities of Los Angeles. You know, another thing with in addition to the tiny houses is, and I met with somebody from China, and they've done this. So you know the crates that come in from the storage, right? So they have made beautiful containers, right? And you can retrofit them, put 2 or 3 together, and you just need the land, right? All the land is not.
I think the city of Los Angeles should get involved with this because you're helping to alleviate a problem that they should be handling.
I have been to every meeting, and they look at me and turn their heads and keep going.
How about Orange County?
They have the same problem. I haven't been to Orange County yet, but here in Los Angeles, I've been to every lock-up meeting. I registered. I did everything I've done, know to do, and they just, You
know what? Maybe
now there is actually there's a couple of things going on. Garcetti, in order to get that's beautiful. In order to get the Olympics here, he was told he has to solve his homeless problem.
That's correct.
So that would be a good way to do it.
So Damon Damon, Damon Goodwin, because he's going to be on the show next month.
Okay.
So he had a seminar I went to 2 months ago. I think it was in December, and there was like 48 different agencies that came together with him to talk about the homelessness, and so it was really great. And that's when I found out how many homeless was. And Kitty Davis Walker, who's the PR person at Union Rescue Mission, she sits on the board. I'm the co-director of Recycle Black Dollars.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I'm kind of involved in the community. But I do know it's about legislation.
Yes.
It's about us as a people forcing our representatives to do the right thing. Now, and I'm going to ask this question because you're in real estate.
Before you ask the question, let's go ahead and take a quick break, and then we'll come right back to this.
Okay.
So we're going to take a break. We're on the Business Zone with
Crystal
and Gilbert Buchanan, your small business paramedic. Take a break.
Hello, meet Larry. Larry is a general contractor. Larry is very good at his craft, but Larry has a very tough time managing his paperwork because he is busy taking care of his clients' needs. Larry just cannot find his important business documents when needed. Larry is also being passed over for bid opportunities from prime contractors because he is perceived as not ready. He doesn't know where his business license, certifications, insurance, and other key corporate documents are located most of the time. Lucy owns an auto body and collision repair shop and has been using a business management and procurement assistance program called Small Biz Pro to keep her business organized, business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. Small Biz Pro is a 3-in-1 cloud-based business management, procurement, and market research assistance system designed to help businesses become business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. It also provides back-office operation solutions for small businesses. Lucy is able to stay ahead of her competitors because she uses Small Biz Pro to manage her business daily. Lucy just clicks on Small Biz Pro from her tablet, mobile phone, laptop, or any internet-accessible device for data retrieval, and she's got it. Lucy introduces Larry to Small Biz Pro, and now Larry is more organized and can now find all of his documents and new bid opportunities in seconds. Larry now saves $120 in labor costs for each missing or misplaced document. Just simply go to your web browser and log into smallbizpro.net and register today for a limited 30-day free trial offer. Services start as low as $1 per day. Let's put the competition out of business. Small Biz Pro. If you stay ready, you don't need to get ready. Register now at smallbizpro.net and begin saving money. Email info@smallbizpro.net or call 626-533-1186.
Each year, the state of California contracts for billions of dollars of goods and services. We as a state can and should leverage our spending power to achieve policy goals that help the people of California. One major policy goal we have is to create jobs and grow our state economy. Promoting the development of small businesses within California is a great way for us to do that, because California small businesses are the engine of economic growth. 95% of companies in California are small businesses. And with the right opportunities, these small businesses can grow to become the next Apple, Netflix, or Tesla. So let's all do our part to promote small business development and grow our state economy. Together.
So we're back on the Business Zone. We got about 10 minutes left with our special guests. And Crystal, you had some questions.
I do, because I live in the View Park, Windsor Hills. First of all, I want to know the history, because you were saying you knew the people that actually built the Windsor Hills View Park area.
Yes, Marlowe and Burns.
Okay,
yes.
So what's the history? I had heard that it was the Olympic Village.
One section, but the majority of it was for people to be able to build custom homes. You bought the lot.
Okay.
And that's why in View Park and Windsor Hills, no two houses are pretty much alike. Mm-hmm. But like in Ladera, they're all pretty much alike, because that was a tract home base. But those, you bought the lot, and then you built your home on it yourself.
Wow.
According to what you wanted. Wow. So.
And is that the same with Baldwin Hills?
Baldwin Hills, no, it's tract home.
That's tract home?
Tract home.
So, of course, in the last 50 years, some things have changed.
Yes.
And changing rapidly in our community.
Yes, they are.
So from from being in real estate, what are the issues that we face most in this area and anywhere around the area, especially where prominently, if you want to call the word middle class blacks, have lived, and how do we preserve and stay where we are?
Number one, we need to set up living trusts for our families. That means that property can be handed down from one generation to the next generation. Mm-hmm. Prior to that, they had deeds that read this property should be transferred from one generation to the next generation, and that's the way they did it.
I would love for you to come back and talk about living trust, because we really need to hear about that.
Yes.
A lot of us.
Yes. And living trust does avoid probate tax and probate expense. And so many of us don't know about it, won't do it. Especially as people get older, they won't take care of their business because they figure you're trying to fool me.
Yes.
No, you need to take care of your business. If you don't have an attorney, use an attorney. If not, there are several people that can actually put together living trusts for you. Right. And they're inexpensive. You can actually go online and do it yourself.
You can. Dr. Rosie
and they
Milligan.
give you the instructions and everything.
Okay.
So there's so many different avenues. Another thing is to teach our younger generation the value of real estate. See, after slavery and we had sharecropping, that's when our parents taught us you want to own the land, because if you sharecrop, you never really receive anything that is tangible and valuable as far as the family goes.
And that's going on right now with small businesses. A lot of us, we rent and we lease these properties, and we release it for 20 years.
Yes.
But we don't own the land. So the landlord, after you spend all this money doing your beautification and fixing up the place,
that's right,
he just comes right in and say, you know what, we're going to terminate your lease. We need somebody else in here.
Oh, that's what happened to with the Crenshaw, with the train.
Yeah.
There's so many of those people that have been in business for 30 years on that corridor.
Yeah.
And we lost, I think we lost, it was 750-something businesses on that corridor, and we lost 300 of them.
Wow.
Because they didn't own the building. And some of them didn't know that they could.
I know.
Wow.
That's the sad part. They didn't know what they could. Yeah. But I actually have my brother-in-law's family, his sister and her husband. They have a church over on 4th Avenue, and they're very innovative. Mm-hmm. And their church has always had a large number of young people. Mm-hmm. So their young people have grown up into young adults, and they're now having families. So I've talked to them about there's some grants and some information out there where they could actually become that church who can bring in their young people, and they have access to a large volume of young people. And I wanted them to be exposed to investments.
Yes.
And I see you have an investment club.
Yes, we do.
And because our children don't know anything about that.
Yes.
And real estate, what they need to do in order to buy real estate, and income property.
Income property is what it is.
Mm-hmm. Income property. And so it's interesting because, my family, we play a game called Cash Flow.
Yes.
And so my family, my sister is in real estate. Uh-huh. So we were playing the game one time, and my nephew, he says, we're playing a game, and they're talking about is Robert Kiyosaki, is his game, and how to, and so it's all about real estate investment and all that stuff. So we're playing, and he goes, after he's played a couple times, he's gotten his car, and he's talking about fourplexes and triplexes and duplexes. He goes, "What are these plexus things?" So now his mother is in real estate, been in mortgage for over 30 years. They don't necessarily have this conversation, or nor was he probably paying attention. And so we told him what it was. His father is at UCLA, and he's in facility, and they own property, right?
Yeah.
He said, "I like these plexus things." So then he started collecting them, and then in the game, so he won the game at $1.8 million because he sold his plexus. So we always laugh about that because he really, that was his first lesson and whatever. But, and his cousins, and we've all played that, and that's what we do as a family.
Yes.
So when I told my brother-in-law's sister, she goes, "Okay, just tell me when to set it up." So if you're looking for a place, and these are young adults who got good jobs, they've all college educated.
I am ready.
And so my nephew's, my sister's cousin left them some property, and he set up a trust for the kids. So all the kids in the family. So the house was right there on Crenshaw and Washington, and it had a life estate person that we finally got out because he's a lunatic, and so we're going to sell the property. So it's going to divide the proceeds up through 5 kids, right? Yeah. So they're taking the money from for my nephews and investing in income property for them.
That's the good
and they're going to learn how to maintain it and manage it, and property management, so that they will always have that income. That's what we need to teach our children. Huh? Yeah, that's the good thing about Plexus.
It really is.
Yeah, so we really have to.
So we got about 2 minutes left. So, Ms. Clark, is there anything you want to tell our audience out there real quickly?
Well, I was mentioning a good credit, but now most of my property was bought when I had no credit, no good credit, and very little money.
Right.
So I was buying the ghetto, as they called it, back when people said, "Oh, no, I won't be bothered with that. I'm not going to do that. That's too much work."
Yeah.
Well, before they start flipping, I was already in the game. Yeah. And my oldest brother and I both were, I guess, competing against each other because he would go to the bank and the bank would give him all the raggedy properties. Right. He'd fix them up and rent them out.
Wow.
So between the two of us, we ended up with quite a bit of real estate. Yes. And it's still out there. There are a lot of people that are disenchanted with their properties and they just want out.
Wow.
So you find what you're looking for.
Right.
So you have an eye for it.
I do. I go around and I look and find. And then my family now is so orientated to real estate, we're all looking. And, if it's good, they call me up, "Mom, buy this, buy that. I said, wait, hold up. One at a time.
So you know Malcolm Bennett, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay,
yes.
he's a good friend of
ours.
ours.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I belong to their organization.
Okay, then you've probably met my sister. She and my brother-in-law go over there quite often.
Okay, I was at the last meeting because, they're trying to put a halt on the rents. In other words, rent control now wants you not to be able to raise your rent if someone moves out. Mm-hmm. In other words, it has to stay whatever their rent is. If their rent was $500, then whoever moves back in gets the $500.
Well, I wish they're talking about rent control. I wish they had property tax control.
Well, they do need some property tax control.
Exactly.
Really
because they increase that thing every year.
Yes,
every year. I started out paying like $2,000, and now I'm way up there.
Yes.
That's like 3 times the amount.
You do know you can go to a hearing.
Yes. Yeah, but what are they going to do?
You fill out a form.
That's what Mama does.
And you get the comps, and they lower it.
Oh, really?
Yes, my son did all of mine.
Well,
you have ready. To talk to Mona about it. She's a hearing
next
officer.
bill is due in April. So
Call my son. He'll show you where to go and what to do. He did all of mine and got them to where they should be.
Wow.
Okay,
yes.
fantastic.
I wish we had so much more time so we could talk.
We're going to have to bring you back.
We're going to have to bring you back.
Thank you. I'd
because
love to come.
you've got a lot of nuggets. And this program right here, we really got to delve into this solution for the homeless.
Yes.
This is amazing. Yes. I've heard all of those politicians talking about their solutions.
Yes.
None of them come close to this.
No.
So
it creates jobs.
It does. Mm-hmm. It does.
Because even if a person is mentally challenged, we can pay someone to go by and check on them and make sure they're keeping their place clean and have some security there for them.
Right.
So not only for themselves, but for anyone that would try and invade on their privacy. So it would create so many jobs that it's just amazing.
Well, one of our guests here, she is in marketing and she does social media and campaigns.
Okay,
That's
good.
what we need to do, a campaign on this. Try to see how we can get the funds you're looking for.
Yes.
$300 from 2,000 people. That should be very easy.
That will put us right over.
And they'll get it back.
Yes. Because then we have at least 10 spots already in trailer parks that are available.
Right.
So, and we could get those 10 built out.
Right.
We can move them right on the trailer parks and start putting women with children really need it most of all.
That's amazing.
Because those little homes that you see on the paper, some of them have an upstairs.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Yeah.
It's actually on one of them, it's 2 bedrooms.
Really?
Can you believe it, in the roof?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And then one of them, it's only 1 bedroom upstairs, but they have bunk beds.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have the little beds.
That's amazing.
And we will reach out with you, and I'm going to talk to my sister, but there are a number of organizations out here that there's some grants out there for the homeless.
Yes, there should be. That's what I'm saying. So even though 45 thinks he's going to cut everything, there are certain things that he doesn't know about.
A nonprofit, you're a nonprofit, so we can partner up with some other organizations that are in that space.
Every time I go to one of Laka's meetings, you know how many people are there.
Yeah.
I'm going around talking to everybody. And that's a good idea.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, we want to thank you so much for coming to the Business Zone.
Thank you so much for having me here.
And sharing all this expertise with us and our audience.
Okay, thank you so much.
And we'll get some information. I'm going to send this over to you, and then let's see what we can have a conversation off the show, and let's see if I got some people that I know that can help.
Yeah.
Okay?
And if they put their money in, well, you know what? Once you have what you don't need, then the government always steps in and say, let us help you.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, my goodness.
For sure. So just tell them your phone number once again and how they can contact you.
Okay, my number is 323 area code 294-0094, and that's Beverly Clark, and you will be calling Clark Realty.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.
Same here.
So we're going to take a quick
quick break and bring up our next guest.
All right, and then a photo with you before you leave.
All right.
While the commercial's going on.
Good.
You're on the Business Zone with Crystal and Gilbert Buchanan, your small business paramedic. Take a break.
Hello, meet Larry. Larry is a general contractor. Larry is very good at his craft, but Larry has a very tough time managing his paperwork because he is busy taking care of his clients' needs. Larry just cannot find his important business documents when needed. Larry is also being passed over for bid opportunities from prime contractors because he is perceived as not ready. He doesn't know where his business license, certifications, insurance, and other key corporate documents are located most of the time. Lucy owns an auto body and collision repair shop and has been using a business management and procurement assistance program called Small Biz Pro to keep her business organized, business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. Small Biz Pro is a 3-in-1 cloud-based business management, procurement, and market research assistance system designed to help businesses become business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. It also provides back-office operation solutions for small businesses. Lucy is able to stay ahead of her competitors because she uses Small Biz Pro to manage her business daily. Lucy just clicks on Small Biz Pro from her tablet, mobile phone, laptop, or any internet-accessible device for data retrieval, and she's got it. Lucy introduces Larry to Small Biz Pro, and now Larry is more organized and can now find all of his documents and new bid opportunities in seconds. Larry now saves $120 in labor costs for each missing or misplaced document. Just simply go to your web browser and log into smallbizpro.net and register today for a limited 30-day free trial offer. Services start as low as $1 per day. Let's put the competition out of business. Small Biz Pro. If you stay ready, you don't need to get ready. Register now at smallbizpro.net and begin saving money. Email info@smallbizpro.net or call 626-533-1186.
Each year, the state of California contracts for billions of dollars of goods and services. We as a state can and should leverage our spending power to achieve policy goals that help the people of California. One major policy goal we have is to create jobs and grow our state economy. Promoting the development of small businesses within California is a great way for us to do that, because California small businesses are the engine of economic growth. 95% of companies in California are small businesses, and with the right opportunities, these small businesses can grow to become the next Apple, Netflix, or Tesla. So let's all do our part to promote small business development and grow our state economy. Together, we can win.
We're back on the Business Zone with
Crystal
and Gilbert Buchanan, your small business paramedic. Crystal, who is our second guest
Well,
today?
we have a special, beautiful lady in the house right now. Her name is Dr. Eve Allen, known as Dr. Eve, and she is a, you're an alternative doctor of alternative healing practices, and she's a master clinical hypnotist and gemstone energy medicine, sound specialist. She got it all going on, and holistic health practitioner. And these are the type of doctors I like.
I know. Natural stuff.
Yeah, natural stuff, because I believe in natural stuff. I don't like putting all that synthetic crap in my body. And so it's a pleasure to have you in the studio and here at the show. And tell us all about you.
Well, thank you very much
Welcome
for having
to the
me.
Business
It's a
Zone.
pleasure being here. Well, what can I say? There's just the natural way is the natural thing to do.
Is the way to do it, right.
And there's just no way around it. And
So,
as you said...
what brought you into this field?
Well, I came here. I incarnated into this lifetime as a healer.
Okay.
And I was, as a child, I was the one that always looked after everybody. And always with a very sincere heart and a passion for helping others. I remember being on the playground as a small child, and someone fell and hurt themselves. They fell down and dust flew up on the ground, and everybody was laughing. Oh, gosh, not me.
Right.
I found no humor
Right.
in someone else's pain.
Right.
And so I ran over to help, and I picked them up, and I dust them off, and I put my arm around to make sure that they were okay. And then I admonished everyone else. And I
That's
said,
right.
You dare not laugh.
Yes.
It could be you.
Wow.
And so I recognize, of course, this is hindsight.
That was a caretaker
Yeah,
in
but
you.
I always had that.
Yes.
Always did. And with a both my grandmothers, on my father's side and my mother's side, both healers,
Right.
natural healers. My grandmother's was like a midwife in our community. Many years ago, black people didn't have the privilege of going to hospitals.
Nope, not at all.
And so they depended upon the knowledgeable, wise ones who had an understanding of herbs and how to use different things and make poultices and salves, and those kinds of things, which teas to give that would soothe all kinds of problems. So that's on one side. And then on the other side, my father, full-blood Native American.
Okay.
So that makes me half. And she, too, was a healer.
And that's really what the Native Americans was all about, you know, how the natural products, and that's really the derivative of all the synthetic drugs, right?
Well, that segues into my whole natural genetics.
Okay.
So that's who I am naturally. And then I ended up working in the pharmaceutical industry over 20 years in the pharmaceutical industry. And, you know, I was teaching specialist. I worked in the medical schools and teaching hospitals, training specialists how to diagnose and treat and write a drug.
Okay.
A prescription for
Was
a drug.
that a conflict for you?
Well, you know, it was. I just never forgot. I never forgot it. The natural things always resonated very
That's what
clearly.
I thought. You'd have that urge to want to do the natural stuff.
It was always there. But
Yes.
after, you know, the strong indoctrination of, you know, learning all the stuff, and there was lots of talk about quackery, and I just never wrapped my arms around it. I got out there and I promoted and I taught and I sold those drugs because I was being paid to do that. But in my heart, I never lost it. I always maintained that. And so after a few years in the industry, it was bubbling up inside of me, and I just allowed that to come forth. And so I became very, very popular even amongst my peers and my colleagues at work. What do I take for this? How do I do that? Listen, my mother has this problem, my father, my son, everyone was seeking my counsel at that point. And they were calling me Dr. Eve even before I became Dr. Eve. And so it was just a natural progression. Then one day, this big, mighty hand, this powerful, powerful hand was placed right in the middle of my back and pushed me forward and catapulted me into the work that I do now. And so I made the transition from the pharmaceutical industry and allopathic medicine into everything natural. And I still burn with a desire to learn more, to have more clarity, to help. And they said, well, gosh, Dr. Eve, you know so much already. Well, there's always more.
There's always more.
There's
which
always
transitions me into my next question to you. You've been to Jamaica, right?
I have.
You have.
I have.
Have you been to Milk River in Jamaica?
I don't recall going to Milk River, but I've been to the Dunn's River Falls.
Right. The Dunn's River Falls, that's the fun part. That's the entertainment part.
Never even heard of Milk
River. The medicinal part is Milk River.
Gotta go.
It's got healing properties. Water is white like milk. That's why they call it Milk River.
Wow.
And it started, we found out about this, you know, my ancestors, when we were slaves and we got beat by the slave master. There were 3 slaves who got really, really beat badly by the slave master, real bad injuries, and they ran away. And their injuries were so bad that they could hardly walk. So when they were running away and running through the bushes, they came and stumbled across that river. So they needed water to wash their wounds, and that's what they did. In 3 days, their wounds were healed. Wow. So ever since that, people start going to the Milk River for healing. Now, the government found out about it, start charging people to go there. But if you go back to Jamaica, since this is your space, this is what you do, that would be a good place for you to go, because maybe you can incorporate that in what you do.
I really appreciate now having the awareness of it, because it was completely off the radar for me. So thank you for that.
Yes.
Absolutely. There are, the waters can be very, very healing, and we do utilize healing water. And it's the elixir of life. And so there are other places that are touted to have the same types of properties.
So the type of work you do, I have, how do you say this, intestinal problems right now. Does your type of work lend itself to healing those types of conditions?
Absolutely.
Really?
Absolutely.
Really?
It doesn't matter what your disharmony is or your discomfort in your physical body. It doesn't matter because there are things to do to bring you back into balance. That's what we call your divine blueprint. We align you back into your natural state of beingness. So there's just a few things that are going on, perhaps something that you're eating. There could be toxins that are trapped there, some type of...
I think that's what it is.
Yeah, that are trapped there and it can't get out.
Yeah.
And so it's just a matter of assisting you with the right type of herbals or homeopathic remedies.
Right.
We utilize sound therapy. Sound is the most powerful. Color therapy, extremely powerful. And these are modalities that are not so, like, they're becoming more mainstream. And but as I was sharing with someone yesterday, the color therapy is what they use on the space shuttles and out in space. They can't carry all this stuff, but color will heal. And sound vibration will heal. When there's disharmony, where there's inflammation, and it means that the blood flow is impeded.
Right.
And so when there's an impediment and the flow is slow and sluggish, then it coagulates. Our blood is crystalline. You understand that?
Right.
Your blood is crystalline. We are crystalline beings. Our bones, our lattice is all crystalline. Now, this is information that's not really shared.
Right.
But so, do you remember the commercial that they used to play where Ella Fitzgerald would sing and she'd hit that high note and they'd hold the crystal glass and it would break up?
Yeah.
Okay, because of a sound frequency. When you hit a certain frequency or pitch, the crystallization, that coagulation where the blood is impeded, with that sound frequency, it will break that up and now the blood can flow again. So there's probably some type of pocket that, something has gotten wedged up in the canal and it's pockets all in our intestines. And, we just simply have to figure that out.
I've been wanting to do something like that because Crystal can tell you, I don't like synthetic drugs because to me, they all come with side effects. You have an ailment and you take a synthetic drug and you find like 15 different side effects. It makes you have one eye, your hair falls off.
But it'll solve that problem that you went there for.
Exactly.
Or so they say.
It's somewhat like it gives a temporary relief, but it doesn't cure the underlying cause.
That's right.
So we can put a patch over it and you feel better. We can numb it down and make you... That's what it does. It just but the underlying thing, it just continues to seethe and fester.
It sits there, right.
It festers. It doesn't just sit still. If it's there and it's a problem there, and now you just can't feel it, but the problem continues to fester and grow. So we always looking for the underlying cause.
So do you have an office that you work out of?
I do. I do.
Where is that located?
I'm actually working from my private office at my home. I had one of those large offices, big, beautiful office on Wilshire Boulevard for many years. And as you know, with all of the renovations and all, the building is being renovated and everyone had to move out. So because I do a lot of public speaking and I'm leading workshops and retreats, I brought my office home. And so now I'm just seeing my private clients there in that space. But I don't know, maybe because I'm really, I enjoy working with people very, very much. I mean, I really enjoy it.
Yeah.
Because I like to see people go from this place to the next level. And when I get the feedback, it just brings me such tremendous satisfaction.
Joy. Yeah.
Just personal satisfaction that there's another one. I don't anymore, the testimonials, and the book got so big and thick and heavy that I just decided, okay, that's enough. And I wasn't even keeping them at first. And someone said, Dr. Eve, you need to do that. So I did. And then I'm like, okay, that's enough. But they keep coming in more and more and more. And so in time, you know, you can pinpoint things because you have so much experience under your belt, and you know, boom, they present with this, you know exactly what to do. And the beautiful part is that we can incorporate our knowledge of the Western medicine, because remember, I was training these specialists, okay, endocrinologists, cardiologists, pulmonologists, and several other specialties, because you go from, okay, you've mastered that, to keep it fresh for you, now let's put you on this. So you have to learn everything about all those systems and then be able to articulate that to the specialist, train them and answer their questions. And that's what I did for many years. So I have that unique ability to understand Western medicine and fully, totally understand the Eastern, you know, from Chinese, traditional Chinese medicine to Ayurveda, and, you know, just it's endless. And that's why, as you were naming, so many different modalities, because I make myself available for God to use me when I'm working with people, because I take it very, very seriously. You're dealing with somebody's life. Someone comes to you for help. That's what my heart sings and says. I honor this person, and I want to do the very finest, the best job that I possibly can with assisting you to get past this particular disharmony in your body, because your body will heal and regenerate itself when you do the right things. And I just spoke with a gentleman yesterday. His wife had come in, and he had his gallbladder removed. Well, she had been coming to me, and she was having problems, but she got so much better, and she was encouraging him to come. But he's like, well, I'm just not sure about that. And he went ahead and allowed them to remove the gallbladder. And now I'm finally talking to him on the phone. And I let him know that your organ systems will actually regenerate themselves. You'll get a brand new liver in 6 months if you do the right things. And so that's the gift that we have of understanding all these organ systems and how they work so beautifully interdependent of each other. They don't work dependent and separately. They all work together in harmony, in unison, together. And so when you take out one system, you have thrown the rest of those systems off for the rest of your days.
For those of you who are just tuning in and just listening, this is the Business Zone, and this is our special guest, very special guest, Dr. Evie Allen. And she's talking about some natural healing strategies here that can work for any of us. You got sound therapy, hypnotherapy, and a variety of other therapies that the doctor does. So, doctor, thank you.
So the sound chair therapy, is that the binaural beats? Because I use those.
Well, that,
somewhat of...
Yeah, the binaural beats. That's one form of sound, and I have that as well. But I have a very special system that that they use. People go to places and they charge thousands of dollars for, of course, and ours are very reasonable. But so that's one therapy. But I have numerous modalities of sound, and from the crystal, I use tuning forks. And they make a sound and carry a really strong vibration, and I strike it and I place it on your body, and you'll just feel it. You can feel it just moving out and your blood is flowing better, and you're feeling amazingly great afterwards. Infrasonic sound, ultrasonic sound, you name it, we've got it.
And then the herbs, you put together different herbs to combat, say, high blood pressure or weight loss.
All type of formulas and things, yes, absolutely. And so we have a beautiful detoxification system that we do, because usually when people come in, or anybody, if you have some type of disharmony or dis-ease in your body, it's usually because it's kind of the system is clogged. Okay, most people are taking better care of their cars than they do of their bodies.
That's true.
So we take that, they tell you got to take that car in to get that
oil change
and the filters change, and then every so many other 1,000 miles down the road, now you got to come in for your major overhaul. Well, and so that's where you're changing, the spark plugs. I don't know exactly how they do it now. It's changed. It's changed quite a bit, but you get the gist of what I'm saying. So we have to regularly do the oil change. That means you've got to cleanse your blood.
You're making me feel guilty.
Cleanse your blood. Don't feel.
I'm not doing it.
Don't feel guilty. Just when you know better, you absolutely do better.
I know better, and I'm not doing better.
Because one of the things, so we had an alternative healing person on, and so we both went in for our therapies. I took mine,
and I didn't.
He did not. But one of the things is the parasites in the body and the inflammation, which is what makes you tired and all that listless.
Absolutely.
And hang on to the weight, right?
Yes. Well, there's all kinds of different things for why your body does what it does. And each individual that comes in, we're evaluating what's happening with you.
Right.
There's no real cookie cutter kind of thing.
Right.
It's individually unique. And when we do a consultation, the evaluation, and make the assessment, and then we customize for you exactly. So what you may need may be something different from what he needs.
I think I need instant gratification, and I'm not getting it. So I'm going, it's not working. It's not helping.
Well, I tell you what, our program works really, really fast, and it doesn't take you weeks and weeks to feel a difference.
Right.
You do exactly what we share with you to do, and you'll be feeling the difference in 2, 3 days, 4 days max.
Really?
I mean, really, really.
Really?
Yeah, really.
Now the irisology.
Yeah, iridology.
So
iridology.
That's to look into your eyes.
Yes, that looks into your eyes, and it can be an effective thing. And I was a certified iridologist. However, I don't use that very much because the whole system is set up to see into a lighter eye. Our eyes, as African descent, our eyes are generally very dark.
That's a good point.
And you cannot see into a dark eye.
That's a very good point.
And even when you put the light on it, you can see a little bit, but not all the details that you can of a light eye. So once I went through all of that and recognized, I said, you really can't see. I had all the charts and all the different things and all that. You can't really see very well into a dark eye.
You're the first person I've heard said the truth about that.
I'm going to tell the truth.
Because most of those other specialists who read the eyes, they, oh yeah, that's a great way to, let me read your eye. And they don't say what you're saying. And that's really what we want to hear, the truth.
Well, you're going to get it here.
That's good.
You're going to get it.
That's good.
And so I kind of put that aside. We have so many other modalities that we have mastered that really will tell us exactly what's going on. And we're always looking at the energy. Each one of your organ systems, we are energetic beings, and each organ has a resonance of how strong it is or how weak it is. And we have perfected a system, a way of being able to tap the energy of that system. So when I'm checking you and doing your whole evaluation, I'm checking the integrity of each of your organ systems to find out what's weak, what's out of balance, and what needs to be supported. And then, based on that, we are able to, sometimes when we find a system is weak, we have to check it again to see, are you weak because you're really weak, or are you weak because you're holding up another system?
Nope.
See, because all those systems work together, as I was saying earlier, they work together, and so when one system is out of balance, the other girls don't sit around and laugh at her. What they do is they will
keep working.
No, they keep working, but they throw themselves out of balance to come over here and hold and prop her up.
Right.
They keep propping her up, and sometimes if you ignore the symptoms and the signs that are presenting themselves to you, then that system can become so weak that now you start feeling symptoms other places in the body because this system has thrown itself completely out of balance to help prop you up. And then you got this one over there, and it's propping as well. So we have to really do a priority check to see, is it really this system? Oh, no, it's not this system. It's really this system. And he's just out of balance because he's helping him.
So how do you tell that the system isn't working properly? By touching of the body, or how does that work?
Well, we're the main thing we're looking for is the energy, the integrity. You see, the way traditional medicine, I hate calling it that because what we do is actually the traditional. Traditional means it's something that's been around forever. Mm-hmm. That's the tradition. Yeah. That's traditional medicine. But the mainstream medicine has captured that title, and it calls itself traditional medicine. Mm-hmm. And we're alternatives.
Well, you said it right. Mainstream. That's what it is.
Yes. So with that, what we're talking about is they check in the bloodstream. Everything they're looking in your blood, and that's not a bad place to look, but it's only going to tell you so much. Right. Mm-hmm. The difference between life and death is energy. Mm-hmm. Okay? A person who's really, really sick and not feeling well has extremely low energy. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay? Mm-hmm. And when they can barely open their eyes and can't hardly move or whatever, they're on their way out. They're very close. And then the difference between the two, whether you're living or not, is that energy in the body. Gone. Now that energy is gone, now you're declared to be, deceased. Mm-hmm. So that's where we're looking always, is the integrity of where your energy level is. Mm-hmm. And for people who are receiving diagnosis and saying, they're strong and they're vibrant and they're doing quite well, but then you get a diagnosis that says, oh, you got this and you've got that. Mm-hmm. He said, but, I'm feeling pretty doggone good. The power of suggestion is really, really amazing. So I just wanted to put that out there and say, we all must learn to listen and tune in to our own energy field, because this is not anything that's really taught to us. We're going by, so I was sharing also just recently about how, and this is not a put down on anybody. Mm-hmm. It's just a fact. Mm-hmm. Okay? And the fact is that when you were a child and you weren't feeling well, who did you go to heal you?
My mama.
Your mama. And who did you go to when you needed support and care and nurturing? You went to mama. Mm-hmm. So how is it that as a child growing up, you always went to your mother for your healing and your nurturing and your support? Mm-hmm. But then some kind of way, you became an adult. And all of a sudden now, all that's thrown away. And now you're dealing with a man who's never been a healer, who's never been a nurturer, who's never what? Mm-hmm. We've got to really auto-correct that.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And people, there are people, especially people that say it work for someone, they run to the doctor for everything. Mm-hmm. Common cold. Yeah. I got the flu. How do you know you have the flu? And are you listening to your body? And my grandmother was very holistic. And so when she first came out here, she was 70 years old. And we took her to our family practitioner. And he's like, okay, so what drugs are you on? She goes, none. And he says, what are you talking about? She had no blood pressure, no none of that. She was fine, and she lived to be 102 years old. Mm-hmm. She was a vegetarian. She was actually, she was Seventh-day Adventist, so she was very conscious about how she ate, no dairy products and all that sort of stuff, because that was part of the religious part, right? And so it wasn't until she got here, and once that doctor died, she went to another doctor. Then they had pumped her with blood pressure medication and nerve medication and all this. That's when she got sick, because she didn't need any of that. She just needed to continue maintaining and eating well and not assuming because you get to a certain age. Mm-hmm. And I know when I turned 50, when I was at the doctor, my mom was sick, and the doctor's like, okay, we need to put you on blood pressure medication. Why? Have you asked me why? My blood pressure may be a little elevated because I didn't run here and I've been taking care of my mother. I'm not getting sleep. Have you asked me that?
Well, blood pressure is dependent upon, a lot of times when it spikes up, it's situational. Mm-hmm. There was a situation that happened. It was stressing me a little bit. One of the ways that I would teach physicians was the fact what blood pressure really is. Mm-hmm. Okay. They define it as hypertension, right? Mm-hmm. So let's break it down. Hyper means high level of
elevated
tension.
Mm-hmm.
So when you got to go and run and see about your mom and do this and do that, that's creating a lot of tension. She's not well. I'm tense. Anytime something's wrong with the family, you become tense. So that situation makes you tense. Now, when your blood vessels are they're normal, they would be open like this. You see that? Open, and the blood just flows through easy. There's no tension on it. But the moment you become stressed or tense, it clamps down.
Restricted.
It becomes constricted, and it's more difficult for the blood to get through. So it takes more pressure to push that blood through a constricted vessel.
So that's why the blood pressure elevates.
That's why the blood pressure elevates. The moment you release, the situation changes, and you have less tension, the artery those vessels go back to being, open and dilated, and the blood flow returns. So to put someone on something based on a situation that was generated through a stressful or challenging moment or time period in their life, and to leave them on that for the rest of their lives, I'm.
I love the way you break it down. You make it
I'm a teacher.
Yes, you make it so palatable that anyone, they say even a caveman can, you just make it so palatable that anyone can understand it. And do you have videos?
I do have a few videos. We're making more videos because Dr. Eve just been doing Dr. Eve things. And, you'll find that there's a lot of simplicity to what I do. I'm just a simple kind of, like when I said I had all the testimonials. Well, I had gone years and didn't take a testimony. It's like, okay, I'm fine. I'm happy. You're better. I'm happy. No, you got to do this. So now I've been just doing what I do. And they said, no, you got to make videos. So, okay, we're going to make a few videos. This will be one here. We can put this. This is my book.
Okay.
And we haven't even talked about
I know.
this.
Let's talk about it. We got 10 minutes to go.
Gemstones and the power of healing.
I love gemstones.
Do you?
Oh, my gosh. I love gemstones.
You're going to love that book.
The Bodhi tree is my favorite spot. And there's some other places that I go to in the valley.
Well, the gemstones are very, very powerful. And now this was not something, I've been using it in my practice, but, and I've always had a natural affinity for the stones, even as a child. I didn't know that it was something special. How would I know, right? You don't know. And so I was always connected to the stones, the mineral kingdom. And I thought, when I touched a stone, I could feel all this energy. I thought everybody else could do that too. I had no way of knowing that it was
just you.
Yeah. So the Holy Spirit came and told me that I want that I was chosen to bring this particular information to the people. I said, oh, well, I'm from the South, and down South, people view it as kind of, woo-woo.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, and so
I was Louisiana.
Well, I'm from the South, and so it was really pressed on me, but I was like, but this feels so good, but when the Spirit came and said, okay, you have been anointed and appointed to bring this information to the people. I asked for a different assignment, and God told me, you don't get to pick. You are chosen for it. So anyway, I went ahead. It took me 7 years before I finally did it.
Oh, wow.
It took a long time because I fought it. I didn't want to, but God will not leave you alone. Okay? Yeah, because, and it was very clear. So I said, okay. And so I started talking about the gemstones and help using them with my clients, and I knew they worked because I have used them, worn them all my life, understood them. They speak to me. I can hear the stones. I would have dreams, and they would say, this is good for this. Use this for pain. Use this for sleep. Use this for... So I finally answered the call, and at first I was so reticent because I knew that there would be pushback. But I had to be true to myself and answer that call. And now I understand it very, very clearly, and I have no fear. So, but it was a process to get to that point. But they're beautiful. The gemstones have so many amazing properties to them. There are stones that will attract things. There are stones that will repel, push things back. Stones for protection, stones that will attract prosperity to you, stones that will help you to focus and concentrate, laser type focus, enhance your creativity, all kinds of things, everything we need. And the scriptures say that man does not live by bread alone. That means it suggests that there's something else into play that we're living by. There is, because they're everywhere. And it's used, the computers, the memory that's in your computer is saved on a gemstone. And so that lets you know that there are certain stones that are programmable. There are stones that will protect you. You just wear it and your energy field is protected. Your aura is protected. You don't ever have to worry about thinking that something is going to happen because you're totally protected. And so that's what
I carry a couple. I have stones that I carry in my purse. So there's a amazing African woman down in Venice Beach. She has right there on the boardwalk. She has an amazing store with all the stones. And my girlfriend and I go there, and you really truly can feel them when you're selecting your stones. But yeah, I truly a follower of that, and I love this. Oh, around your neck.
Thank you.
Did you make that? Or?
Yes, I did.
That's gorgeous.
Thank you.
So I see you sell that online.
Yes, we have stones on our website, dreve.com.
Good.
And and they work. That's the main thing I want to share is that they absolutely do work. And just like, remember acupuncture? When it first came to America and people were like, yeah, right. I'm going to let you stick me with a needle. And you say that, and you're going to stick me with a needle, and that's going to relieve my pain.
But in China, that does happen.
Well, here it is now, about 25 years later, and it's covered on every insurance carrier. Oh, acupuncture.
Now, how do you feel
So the gemstones are going to be that way. We're about 4 or 5 years away from it being totally integrated into our system.
How do you feel about magnets?
Magnets are beautiful.
My cousin recently, her son was on he had put out a call to all of us to come and make our final with him. He had some sort of flesh eating. Something's going on with his leg, and it's killing the muscles. And so just about 2 weeks ago, he went into the hospital. So we all got a call, went out there, and so they told her that he's probably not going to make it to the end of the week. And she's like, oh, no, that isn't happening.
That's not so.
And so she went to she has an herbalist, and got magnets, came back. I mean, his hands, his fingers had turned dark. And he was shadow breathing. His body was cold. And so when I went to see him, he was still on the ventilator, but they were taking it off the next day after she put the magnets. And this is what was interesting on the board that they have in the back when what to eat and all that kind of stuff. On there it says he has these 3 magnets. Do not move them.
Well, the magnetic energy is amazing. I totally believe in it. I sell magnetic insoles on my website, and they're so powerful. I notice, like if I'm out, I'm going to a convention or an expo or something, I'm going to be standing on my feet and walking a lot. I always put those magnetic insoles in there. I have had times that I have forgotten to put the insoles in, and I feel that after a couple of hours of standing and walking, you could feel the heaviness in the leg. It's just tired. They feel tired. I put those insoles on. I can go 7, 8, 9, 10 hours standing up on my leg. Don't feel a thing. They're great. That powerful. Wow. So we have high-powered magnetic insoles, and they work really well. So I understand. So what happens is there's iron in our blood. And the magnets will help the blood flow better. So you put the magnets where the flow is impeded, and it just helps it to just. So
that's part of your therapy as well.
Oh yeah, that's why I have those on my site. Yes.
Wow, you're amazing.
I know.
You're absolutely amazing. So how do the people reach you?
Well, my website is dreve.com. You spell that DOCTOREVE.com. And I'll give my phone number, which is 323-658-1152. 323-658-1152. And so reach out and let us know what we can do to assist you. I was hoping that we could have had people calling in, because that's what I really enjoy.
I was hoping
answering people's health questions.
So we're going to have you back.
Yeah,
okay,
we're
so
definitely
going to take this video
back
and put it up, and then we'll have you back, and then we'll make sure that people are calling in.
And this time we'll probably spend an hour instead of 40 minutes or whatever it was.
Yeah, that way we can get people
so we
to call.
can get more out of you.
But I'll
just come, and let's get it together here.
Well, you're convincing me, so I'm here listening to you, and I'm leaning a little bit towards you. So
yeah, well, I tell you what, don't delay.
Yeah. I know for sure I have an intestinal situation.
let's get it resolved as soon as you can, and don't. If you know something's going on, that's your body talking to you, telling you, don't ignore it. You gotta get with it. Take care of it.
You have to listen to your body. It tells you exactly what it needs and how it needs it. You just gotta listen to it. And I don't believe in putting drugs and stuff in.
I know.
And it's interesting. We're gonna wrap it up real quick. But today this morning I heard, because I'm against the whole flu
vaccine
shot crap stuff. So today they didn't come up because they keep saying that they run out of medication. That now they're going to give you a shot that will last for 5 years. What the heck is that going to do to you? And, they say that you don't get autism from vaccinations, but you give a baby 35 shots all in from birth to 3 months old. Tell me that is not true. And I did. And when I was in school, my a major was child development, and I did a paper on autism. And at that time, it was 1 in every 100,000 child was diagnosed with autism. Now it's like 1 in every 10 children. So there's something that took place either from the shots, and that's the only thing that happens to the baby. Because even if the mother was doing something extreme, it wouldn't be happening to that many children.
Sure.
So it has to be something that's being, but that's, unfortunately, the big pharma keeping you addicted to their drugs. and that way they continue to make money. So it's kind of interesting. But we've enjoyed you. And we definitely will have you come back. And so you do workshop seminars?
I do. And so I want to encourage everyone to go on our website and peruse, look around, and see what's there for you. We have the stones labeled, which one to use if you want to, have more focus and concentration or sleep better at night. If you have pain, there's a pain stone that will alleviate the pain. I mean, truly. And so it's just putting these different things into your energy field can only enhance. It takes nothing away. You have nothing to lose, everything to gain.
Can you imagine if I come and visit you and you help me? How wonderful that will be, because I'll be telling everybody about it.
It's already done.
It's already
done.
Okay.
So I'm going to ask Layla. Layla's out. Layla Christie, she was on the show a couple weeks ago. So we need to hook her up with Alicia so we can have a workshop for all our women. We belong to a group called the Bella Network.
Yes.
And we do a conference. Does she know about the Bella Network?
I'm going to talk to her.
Okay. So we do an annual conference, and then we do other things throughout the year. There's somewhere about 800 of us that are following the Bellas. And that's what we're about, creating a tribe and creating healthy, powerful women to help them in their business, their soul, their mental life, everything.
Well, I have a retreat, a relaxation and rejuvenation retreat. That's coming up in April. And it sounds like the Bella Tribe would really enjoy this.
What you think, Layla?
5-star.
Yeah, I think we need to talk to Alicia and see if we can hook that up. I think we all would feel good.
I'll have you guys coordinate this once this is over.
Okay.
But we ran out of time, and it's so unfortunate. Crystal, wonderful job. You did a great job. And Dr. Eve, man, you got me over here thinking. I'm going.
And Beverly Clark, she didn't told us about teeny houses.
Exactly.
It was a great show, guys.
So We want to thank you all for tuning in to the Business Zone. This is
Crystal
and Gilbert Buchanan, your small business paramedic. Tune in every Friday from 3 to 5 on the Business Zone. And you can watch us. You can give us a call at 323-293-3375. We're out.
Yeah, we'll see you next Friday. Bye-bye.
As a small biz pro, so we roll, using procurement, program, and control. As a small biz pro, so we grow, using procurement, program, and control. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Ooh, yeah. Crystal Mitchell, do you have my business plan? Just review the pages of my marketing plan. Crystal Mitchell, do you have my business plan? Just